everyone. I'm Mary Fain Brandt, the host of this show, Bite-Sized Tips for Busy Entrepreneurs. Hello, everyone. Are you all dancing in your chairs like I was? I just love that new intro video. I'm back here dancing. I'm watching my guest. I know he's rocking out in his seat too. You guys, grab your coffee, grab your water, grab your tea, and you are in for a journey today. I've got a good friend from high school. I know it was only 10 years ago, but literally the guy has opened his business 3 times. He was in the Navy. He was a DJ. He is amazing. My friend, we call him Butch, but professionally it's Harold Rose, and he's from Homie's Cafe. Homie's Cinnamon Rolls and Cafe. And I'm going to bring him on in just a minute. First, a shout out to, I swear, my biggest fan, Bez. High five, Bez. Thanks for dropping in the comments and letting me know that everything is running smoothly, because, hey, the one thing I can't control is technology. I can kind of control it, but you know, sometimes little glitches happen, and Bez is always there and letting me know that things are running smooth. And Bez, I can't wait to chat with you next week. So let's get to the show. Today, we're talking about what success looks like as a business owner. It's not all rainbows and unicorns, and it's not what we all put on social media. Most people only do the highlights, and sometimes we share the struggles. But my friend Butch today, I've seen his struggles. I've seen how hard he has worked to make this business happen. And I asked him, I said, Butch, would you be willing to come on the show and really share your story of how you got to where you're at and how many times you had to shut down your business? And he said, of course, Mary, for you. Of course, he said that, right? Hey, shout out to our girl, Shelly Mitch, who's watching. She also knows Butch. We've gone to Homies several times in the past to get our cinnamon rolls. And Bez says, yes, He is dancing around, quarters in the jukebox. Send all the quarters my way with your request. Well, I'm a Madonna's girl and an 80s. Oh, Cars. I love the Cars. You know what, you guys? Let's have a little fun. Drop your favorite, if you're old enough, 80s band in the comments. And I'm going to get Butch up on stage now. Hello, Butch.
What's up, girl? How you doing?
I'm fine.
I saw you. Yeah.
Right? We're having a little dance party.
I love it.
Well, you got to get the party started. I know it's only 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So that's you and me. We're in the same time zone. But Bez is in Central or Eastern. I can't remember. I know that he just recently moved. Our girl Shelly's down in San Diego. Shelly says, "Hey, Butch, here, let's bring that up." Shelly's like, "Hey, girl? Butch, what's going on?" So Butch, we've known each other for decades because we know each other through San Diego Kearney High School. Go Comets. Woo, woo.
Comets.
Woo. Right. And I knew when you were Butch the Baker Man and Q106.
Q106 radio back in the day, and then Channel 9.
Jeff and Jer radio.
Well. Yeah,
sure was. I was an avid Jeff and Jer fan. I did like the human flag at the stadium. They had green bagels for St. Patty's Day downtown, and I went like at 6 a.m. So, I always, I got to tell a secret. Okay. I always wanted to be on radio. Like that was like this secret dream of mine. Yeah. I always wanted to be on radio.
You're kind of doing both.
I guess. I mean, I love talking and I love interviewing people. So yeah, I guess I have my own radio station right here.
You do. I love it.
So Bez says Depeche Mode. Yes. The Smiths, bring me back some Smiths. I love them. And Michael Jackson. Awesome. Thanks, Bez. Oh my gosh. This is going to be a fun show today. And we're sitting here and we're laughing because we're old
Thanks
friends.
for having me on.
Aw, I'm just glad you said yes. So let me ask you this. What time did you get up this morning?
Okay.
What time did you get up? Yeah. That's normal for you, right?
4 o'clock, 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't slept past 6 a.m. in 20 years, even when I'm off, which I'm never really off, but yeah.
And that's because you've got to get to the shop and whip up those tasty cinnamon rolls. I do miss those. And some of the viewers were like,
so you start early.
Yeah. So everyone was asking like, how do we get the rolls? I'm like, well, he doesn't have them frozen yet where we can buy them and then bake them at our house. But I think that is the next step, Butch. I'm just saying, as your business partner here. No, I'm just kidding. As business plan,
I'm working.
Like we could sell these, the frozen, or you take them home and bake them. Oh, that would be amazing. So Andres is here. Andres is over in London. We just had a phone call yesterday. Thank you for joining us, Andres. He's also like a LinkedIn sales coach. So you know what? Let's talk about you, Butch. And I'd love for you to give the audience a background of, back in the day, the Navy, and then your DJ, right? And then we'll talk about where you're at now.
I'll go further than that. I was always a kid that was cutting grass to make money, or washing cars, or going up to a construction site with a gallon of lemonade, selling cups of lemonade. So I've been an entrepreneur since birth, and I've always wanted to do my own thing. So that's kind of where it all started. The passion for doing my own thing started. But yes, I was a Navy baker for years, and baked on a cruise ship after that. And then I baked for American Hawaiian Cruise, all the inter-island cruises. And then I got back to doing my own thing in my mom's kitchen, making cinnamon rolls by hand and taking them to street fairs and outdoor concerts, and just kind of getting my name out there.
So you were bootstrapping it at the beginning, like most entrepreneurs, right?
For sure. 100% from the ground, asking my mom, she got $5, $6 so I can go get some flour and do what I do. Tore up her kitchen. I used to get, boy, got my kitchen all torn up, because I used to make my hand to get them out there and take them to wherever I could take them to. So it's a and
that's kind of the life of the entrepreneur. Like you bootstrap, you do what you have to do to make the money you need to make so your business can keep going.
Exactly.
Excuse me. And so I know that, you you were in the Navy, you were the baker in the Navy and the cook. And then after that, I believe, is that when you got in? I want people to hear your Hollywood, like your Hollywood story and the DJ story, because you have such this great background, right? And it could have gone a bunch of different ways, but you stuck with your passion. So there's different, there's Hollywood, which would have been great, but you stuck with this passion, like this fire inside of you with these cinnamon rolls. And so why don't you, go ahead.
Well, it's like with the cinnamon rolls, because I did have, like you, I have a passion for people. So I love doing anything, public speaking, or when I was in radio, Q106, oftentimes I'd do the grand opening of something and there'd be a lot of people there. And I love that kind of stuff. I was in Starlight Bowl in '79, won Best Supporting Actor, and the next thing you know, I was in a movie with Michelle Pfeiffer and Tony Danza. This was when I was in high school. People coming up to me, and I never told anybody because I'm the same person every day, no matter what. So
you are.
No one knew until they came up to me and said, "Hey, I went to the movies this weekend. Was that you?" Then I would tell them. But I kind of encompass all that stuff and all those experiences so that when I go and I'm talking to schools, I talk to kids about, believing in themselves, and I share my struggles in business so they don't think, oh, well, you're this guy, you've been around all these celebrities, blah, 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 you have it made. No, everybody goes through things in life. Maybe a family member passes away or divorce, but that doesn't give you the right to go steal someone's car stereo or do the wrong thing. So I just kind of share the things that didn't go well for me and the things that fell apart. And you just got to keep swinging the bat. The more you swing the bat, the better chance you have of hitting something. So I turned my attention to cinnamon rolls because there was a good following and they were selling really well. And I was like, well, I want to build some financial security so that I can start franchising and be able to not only be in a position to do things for myself and my family, but I'm the kind of person that if I see someone else that has a passion for what they're doing and they're just having trouble getting money, I'll write a check and won't think twice about it. Here, go do your thing. I want to be in a position to be able to do that and not even think about it. So I figure I'll build that up and then I could go do the other stuff for fun. Then I can get back into the movie thing and doing commercials and all that other kind of stuff that I enjoy doing. And I don't have to worry about, the money portion of it at all. I can just do that because I enjoy doing that and putting that out there.
Right.
So
that's one of the things I love about you is that you are so giving. And I think we have that in common because with my business, I set it up from day one to give back to local Alzheimer's Association. And now that we've moved to Arizona, I've partnered up with Benavia and I'm putting on a summit, LinkedIn Remastered, August 1st through August 6th. Shameless plug, but we're raising money for Benavia who supports seniors. They do amazing work in this community. They serve, I think it's 5 different communities here, and they help the seniors. And so when we sell the kits, the upgrade kits, we're giving all the proceeds. And I just interviewed a volunteer. Yeah, I interviewed a volunteer yesterday. Her story is amazing. So
that's awesome.
I think, it's important as a business owner, no matter how big or how small, that you give back to the community. And I love that you're speaking to kids. Like you're giving them.
As soon as I got up here, that's the first thing I did. Even before I had opened my doors, I was doing different charities up here in Vegas. They have this thing called Pigs for Kids, and I donated, and it's raising money for leukemia, for kids with leukemia or having cancer and all that kind of stuff. But that's always been my passion. I'm a believer in, if you're in a position to have an impact on somebody else, a positive impact, then you should do that. Opportunity should never be just about yourself, ever. I mean, if you can be in a position to lift someone else's life up or make someone else's day better, then that's what you should. And you're right, it could be at the smallest thing. I tell people all the time, when people coming into my restaurant, the homeless looking guy and it doesn't have any money, I greet him the same way as the guy getting out of the Bentley. He deserves the same amount of energy, the same amount of, hey, thanks for coming in. What can I do for you? As anybody. And if people would understand that more, then I think it'd just be a better place altogether. I don't have any tolerance for arrogance. I don't care how much money you make. I could care less. I won't spend 10 seconds.
Me too. I don't care
you're better than everybody or you're looking down on
Mm-mm.
people. I don't have time for you at all.
Amen. You're preaching here. I love it. Well, that really speaks to who you are, the heart and soul of who you are. Bez says, I'm going to put this comment up. He says, love those that give back to the community and those around the world if you can. So we'll put that challenge out there that we're challenging all of you to give back. And it doesn't always have to be with money. I like to say, give with your time, talents, and treasures. So
exactly. No, you're exactly right. And even during, and the pandemic was hard. I mean, I had 6 people at one time, and it's down to myself. Thank goodness my son is amazing. He came up, quit his job at Geico to come help me run the business. So it's just the 2 of us. But even in the roughest time, I still found a way to at least give something back. Like on Fridays, I do a free food Friday for all the first responders. Because when this thing was at its peak, those guys were working just around the corner, around the app, around the clock, over and over again. So I would make a point to make sure I took them some cinnamon rolls to either the ER or the front desk lady or something. I couldn't do a whole lot, but I could do something every week. And that turned into a lot more because I built a relationship with the Metro Police Department here. And that's a whole nother story, because it was during when all the chaos was happening and people were graffiti and everything. And that was just, yeah.
You've been through a lot. You've been through a lot this last year, but let's talk about what you went through to get to Vegas and to be inside the MGM, right? Did I get that right?
Yes,
you're inside.
Yes. Well, I'm not inside the MGM now. I was inside the MGM a few years ago. But when I left San Diego, I came straight to Vegas, and then I had a spot inside MGM, and I became a corporate vendor. So I supplied like the room service and stuff like that. And so,
nice.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell a little of the story. Okay. So I remember when you were down at Mission Beach. I think that's the first time we had Homies cinnamon rolls. And then you opened up a cute little place in Terra Santa in San Diego. And I had my nieces, Maddie and Molly, who were probably 3 and 4 or 4 and 5. They were tiny ones. And you had come out with the little mini homies.
The little homie treats, the LHTs, the little homie treats.
Yeah, which were amazing. So, and so we took, and my mom loved your cinnamon rolls. Like, she is probably like your biggest fan. And so she always wanted to go, but she was diabetic. So we had to be careful, right? But I'd be like, okay, Mom, the girls are in town. Let's go to Homies. And we would go up to Terra Santa, and we'd get the little homie treats. And Mom and I would like share a cinnamon roll. And I remember going there, with my family. And then you had to shut that one down. So I'm going to let you tell the story of how many times did you start this business? Start and stop.
It's been about 4 or 5 times, and it's been for different reasons. Sometimes, especially when you're getting going and you're new in business, you don't always make the right decisions. It's as simple as that. I made plenty of mistakes trying to build this up. And other times you have partnership issues, and everybody starts off and everybody's smiling and let's do this, let's do that. And sometimes you get into it and you find out you're actually on different pages, and that causes a shutdown as well. But at the end of the day, you have to keep going. You have to find a way to keep and get back to what works. It'd be one thing if no one was interested in what I was doing, I couldn't sell anything. This is time to just wrap it up and say no. But the way I look at it, it's like, I look at it myself as a gas station. I have all this gas, and then I have all these cars over here that want my gas. So it's just now getting the money or getting the right relationship so you can get the hoses to put into the car so you can just keep it going. You got to
I love that.
Supply demand, and sometimes there's a clog in the in the gas line, and you have to start over. You just do. But the one thing you got to keep in mind, and to never let people around you, even people in your family, no matter who it is, tell you, oh, you should just quit, oh, you should just give up, blah, 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 blah. Never, ever do that, because then you've already canceled yourself. You'll never get to where you want to go. As long as you can see that, I can do this, because you see signs of things going well when things are clicking, then you just keep on going. I watched this show. I watched it on the History Channel. It's called America Built by Food. And it's all these entrepreneurs, and I swear I said, oh my gosh, that's me. They were guys that owed all these people all this money, and they had everyone coming after them, and they weren't selling what they wanted, but they just kept believing. And one of the stories is the guy sold his shares because he just said, this isn't going to work. He sold his shares to his brother. Those shares are now worth $800 million. He sold he traded his shares for a car. And the guy I'm talking about is the owner of Domino's Pizza. And then so so the other entrepreneurs were like Heinz Ketchup, Kraft Cheese, Doritos, Lay's Chips. These are huge multi-billion-dollar companies. And I said, that's my story. I mean, the stuff that they went through was literally identical. And so that inspires me to keep going. Plus, quitting is just not my DNA. It's just not.
No, it's not. But it can be hard. But I love that you mentioned these big corporations, because most people are like, oh, they had tons of backers. They ran out the gate. They were successful. But those big companies weren't any, they had struggles just like us smaller guys.
Big struggles.
And
Yes.
there was time that I wanted to quit my business. And some people know those stories. Shelly does. When my mom passed, I was like, okay, God, I don't have to have this flexible schedule. I can go get a job. And I had a conversation many times. Okay, if you want me to do this, if you want me to be a trainer, speaker, and coach, give me a nibble, because I'm dying right now, because I literally had shut down, was grieving, had 0 clients, and I was like, didn't have that drive. And so I kind of just had to let it be. And then I got called to teach a class at ITT, which is now defunct, for like $150. And I got a strategy session for like $125, not enough to pay the bills, but it was enough to give me hope that yes, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I just have to put in the hours, because like you said, when you start a business, you don't know what you don't know. We didn't go to entrepreneur school. There wasn't anything like that. And everybody from our age group, being an entrepreneur, you were crazy. Like, no, people were like, get a job. My dad, have a 401k, have insurance, right? He's one of my biggest fans now, but growing up, entrepreneurs were the crazy ones, right? And you don't start a business.
One of my really good friends, God rest his soul, he passed away. Matter of fact, it'll be a year on the 19th. I'll never forget him coming into my restaurant and telling me he's proud of me, knowing that I started. His name is Kevin Jones, and he stopped and started 5 different times. But when he got to his peak, he owned a $6 million lake house in Idaho, $3 million penthouse in Vegas, and built a 12,000 square foot mansion in Anaheim Hills. And basically what he was saying is, you're on the right track, just keep doing what you're doing, keep swinging the bat. And so that when you're feeling down and things like that, or stories like that come across, or you're down and you don't have anything going, like you said, you didn't have any clients. For me, I was sitting there and all of a sudden it was like, the pandemic hit and everybody's shutting down, all this negativity. I said, what can I do to propel myself, to give myself something to look forward to? Sometimes you have to create your own opportunities. So I picked up the phone and I called Allegiant Stadium. And then I ended up getting into Raider Stadium for the season. They didn't have any fans last year, but they're extending us for another year. So now we'll be in Allegiant Stadium for the Raider games. But it was the fact that you have to sometimes do it for yourself. You have to say, what can I do to give myself something to look forward to, create your opportunity? So I called and said, this is what I do. This is what I've done. I was in Qualcomm Stadium for 4 years when I was in San Diego. So I had the experience and started sending out information. And then I got invited to the tasting and went through all the protocols and everything. And then I got, signed in. So whenever you're down, you're never really out. You can be down, and if you're on your back and you can look up, you can get up.
That's a great point. When you're down, you're not out unless you take yourself out.
Exactly.
Unless you remove yourself from the game.
Yeah.
So I like that. So Liz Lopez joined us. Liz is one of my dear friends in San Diego. And I just want to share what she wrote. She said, I can relate. I'm so thankful we had our company when Robert's mom passed, and recently with her mom passed. So Liz, hang in there. You guys are doing a great job. They do SEO, websites, and all of that kind of stuff. So, was it, I'm going to ask some questions. Was it devastating when you had to close your doors?
Absolutely devastating. Not only that, there have been times that you want to talk about needing to be thick-skinned and really believing in what you do. There have been times when I had been open with a lobby full of people, and SDG&E came in and shut my power off because I was behind while people were in the lobby. So if you want to talk about a gasp in your thing, and it's embarrassing and everything, but at the same time, I don't let anybody get to me like I guess what I'm saying is I don't care who's talking bad about me, because people don't talk about you whether you're doing good or you're bad. If you're doing good, it's only because of blah blah blah. If you're doing bad, they're like, I knew he wouldn't make it anyway. So I could care less. All that stuff I could care less about. But for myself, it's just like, man, I gotta get this fixed. You know what I mean? Because that
would be hard, Butch.
Yeah.
Man, if I was like doing a show for a client and sorry, my power went out.
Yeah, but you can't even make up an excuse. You got the guy in his uniform with the little thing on the side and say, hey, man, I got to shut you down. I said, can they finish their cinnamon roll first, man? Can they finish your coffee? And he literally walked right around to the side and shut it down. And so you got to deal with that. And people criticize or whatever. Like I said, I could care less. I'm not worried about them. None of them are paying my bills. None of them are, they're nowhere around when, you know what I mean? So who cares? Everybody's got their
That
thing,
is so important because
Yeah.
as business owners, especially people like me, I'm online a lot. I see what's going on. It's easy to get caught in that trap of comparatitis where I'm comparing myself to the people that have been doing this longer or who have bigger success. And I've learned to talk, hey, I can be inspired by those people, but I'm not comparing myself to them. I am Mary Thane Brandt. I do an amazing job of what I do. This is what I do. This is how long I've been in business. I have a lot more to learn and I'm going to make a lot more money and donate a lot more money. And I just have to, you kind of have to tell yourself that so you don't compare yourself with others and you don't listen to the chitter chatter of whoever wants to bring you down, whether it's your competitors or your family or your friends that don't
out there,
believe in
trust
you.
me.
So you really have to have
Who cares?
You have to have a good mindset and you have to have, for me, I know that I have to build in time off. Right. I need to be in the sun. Yesterday I went and sat in the sun for 25 minutes. I know that's crazy because I'm in Arizona and it was like 114 degrees, but I need the vitamin D. So I was like, I'm just going to go sit out in the sun because I had a full day of recordings. And so I know for me, I need to build in these breaks mentally. Right. So I don't get down. Bez says, don't compare. Ooh, this is good. I'm putting it up. Don't compare your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 23. 23 just happens to be my favorite number, Bez. Thank you for using that one. And he probably knows why I'm saying that. And Liz said, yes, sunshine. Yes to the sunshine.
Well, you don't know anyone's circumstances and they don't know yours. So that's why I don't allow anybody to get in my head about what I should or shouldn't be doing, where I should be or where I'm not, because you don't know. Like with you, you talk about, feeling down. I remember we had buried my dad on a Friday, and then Saturday, the very next day, I walked my sister down the aisle because my dad just passed away. And I'm trying to run a business. So you had all these things going on, and you may not always be on your A game when you have all these things going on, but you still keep going. You still keep going, and you do what you can while you can. And even when I didn't have the shop anymore and it shut down, I had to figure out, well, I need to keep my name out there anyway. So I got a job. I was actually a loan officer at AmeriQuest Mortgage, and then I would do cinnamon rolls on the side. I would do like street fairs and outdoor concerts, make some wholesale deliveries, just to keep the name out there, because the whole world doesn't actually know what's going on behind the curtain, but they know that, oh yeah, homie's still out there. He's still doing this. He's still doing that. They don't know the whole story, but you got to keep your name out there some kind of way. You got to figure out some kind of creative way to stay alive, in the public eye. So when you do return, you open your next shop, then they're like, oh, there you are, and blah, blah, blah.
I think that's important. And I love that you said at one point you were a loan officer. So we were talking before the show, you guys, and a lot of people, they're thinking about, especially after the pandemic, a lot of people are like, I'm not going back to the office. Over 40% of Americans that have been polled, I think it was 40% of adult Americans that were polled said they are not going back to the office. They would resign. That's a huge percentage. So
that is a lot.
And I'm a career coach, and we haven't seen the end of what the pandemic is meaning to the job market. That landscape has forever changed. So a lot of people are thinking about opening their own business, whatever that is. And anyone who's thinking about creating their own business, opening their own business, my one piece of advice is keep working. Unless you have a bank account with $100,000 in it that can get you through, I'm going to be like, keep working and do it like, you were a loan officer, but you kept homies' names out there, right?
Exactly.
So I worked full time. There were times when I started my business. My mom was sick. So I started a business because I needed to be there for her. Had no idea what I was doing, wasted $10,000. As you said, I made bad decisions that first year in business. And I like to say I wasted $10,000 of thinking everything had to be. Oh, I learned. Yes.
Yeah, we all do,
So it was a very expensive business lesson. But then, I got a part-time job and I was doing my business. And then a full-time job came up, and it was an amazing opportunity with somebody that I knew, liked, and trusted. So I knew I wouldn't be like stepped on. And I was working at a bank in San Diego up until last September. And I was doing my business on my lunch, at nights, on the weekends. I would hold client calls. I would take vacation time to go speak at gigs. I'd be like, I got to speak on Thursday. So I'm going to take a half-day vacation.
You know, I was fortunate enough just recently to be on the front page of the newspaper here in Las Vegas. And they're like, former Navy chef, how did he keep it going through the pandemic? What was he able to do? And it literally talks about how I sold equipment that I had in the shop to keep the lights on. You do what you got to do. So yeah, you need your equipment. At one time, I made 4,000 cinnamon rolls by hand, dough ball by dough ball by dough ball for Metro Police Department and the police officers' wives. You put together this amazing thing. I had to tell that story real quick. Okay, so I'm not going to stand up and make excuses for why people do things, why some people do what they do, but I do understand the frustration part of it. And I'm talking about getting pulled over for some nonsense. So during all this stuff, when the graffiti and the riots and all the stuff was at its peak, I was seen taking the graffiti off of the wall. Okay. And one of my friends was a friend with the police officer's wife, told her about it. Her and I became friends. She brought her police captain's, her husband's police captain came down, and we had a long conversation about just harassment. And he goes, I agree with you, and I understand. We just had really good dialogue. My point was, you can't have dialogue if you're contributing to the chaos. So I wanted to have some dialogue. But in return, what had happened was the police wives got together and they ordered 4,000 cinnamon rolls and fed everybody in Metro Police Department. And it was just amazing. So I got this great dialogue with the police department where I can talk to them and I say, this is nonsense. You know, you're getting pulled over for, you know, just some craziness. And
you can have a conversation.
Yeah,
you can have a conversation without it being a confrontation.
Exactly. But that's why I did that. But it turned into a nice relationship. And then you can invite other people and have conversations with people on the other side. So he was specifically telling me the things that they're doing department wide to curb that. And I gotta honestly say, being pulled over here in Las Vegas, the police department here has been amazing. I mean, they were like, you know, I was speeding, you know, And
well, we've got to take,
my experience is here. But, you know, I was born and raised in San Diego. It wasn't so much. I've been pulled over. Like, I bet you don't have a driver's license. Whose car is this? I'm like, you want to, as a person, you want to go, I'm a, you know, you know, talking to like, but you can't because it just escalates into the next thing. Right. So bottom line is, you know, I use my business to be in the community. I had them come down to the business and being able to feed first responders and then do business with the police department. It's all a good vibe. It's all a good positive energy being put out there so that you can just try to I
love all the good work that you do. I know because we're friends that you have a big heart. You have a big dream. Homies is not done growing. Shelly and I in San Diego are going to get some damn cinnamon rolls soon because we need a fix. We might be there in September or no, October. So I'll let you know. But I want to wrap this up with, you know, do you have another piece of advice like, hey, you know, Butch, business or Harold, you know, hey, Harold, business isn't really great.
Sometimes like Harold, wait, oh yeah, Butch, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so used to Butch.
You know, business isn't so good. What should I do? Should I give up? Like, what would you tell someone who is struggling right now, try to make a decision if they should continue on or if they should throw in the towel? Do you have any words?
Well, first of all, I say do business for the right reason. You know, if you have a passion for something, because a lot of people have this misconception, you just throw a sign in the window and everyone's going to show up and hand you money. And we both know that is not the case. You know, you have to build a product that people want. And when you can see that, when you can see people have a desire for what you're doing and you're just having trouble keeping it going, you keep it going. You keep it out there. You keep going. You do what you need to do to say, hey, they want what I have. I have this gas station. They want my gas. I just need the money to put the hoses in their car. You know what I mean? And you just keep going, and you have friends I've had friends that have been amazing that have helped me out. I've had strangers. You know, you do what you can do to get to a point to when maybe you're in a recognizable spot where some big investor wants to say, hey, well, I want to either contribute a whole bunch of money and really blow this up, or I want to buy you out and give you residual income, and I'm going to, you know, whatever, especially in the food business, that can happen. Because we've been #1 on Yelp for 4 years straight. So that I'm beating Cinnabon and Cinnaholic. But They have a.
Well, of course you're beating Cinnabon.
Yeah, yeah.
Cinnabon got nothing on your buns.
My point is,
Can I say that on live?
they don't know that this broke brother over here is just keeping them out there. They don't, they have no idea what's going on behind the curtain. But another bigger company, food company, might go, man, boom, this homie thing has been rolling for a while. All he needs is the right backing, and boom, he's all over the place. Because I've sold everywhere. I sold from country concerts to rodeos to Jimmy Graham's outdoor, you name it. I've sold everywhere. So it's like, okay, the product works.
I love it. Okay, so you guys, this has been a great show. Definitely, if you're in Vegas, go see my boy Butch at
homiescafe.com.
Homiescafe.com. You're on Instagram, right?
I am. It just says
one day I'll get you on LinkedIn because investors will ask you for your LinkedIn URL. Just saying.
Okay. I have a LinkedIn. I just don't know my password. I haven't been on for 5 years.
Do you know anyone who could help you with that? Anybody? Does anyone come to mind?
This married person. I know this girl named Mary that I've known for years.
Okay, guys, so this is where we're going to wrap this up. We try to bring you bite-sized tips where we try to keep it to 35 minutes, but we end with something fun. It's called This or That. I totally made it up, and it's like a game show. I'm going to give Butch 2 words. He has to choose one. He cannot add one, so you have to choose one. There's nothing too embarrassing. I don't have my list in front of me, so I'm just going to go off memory. We're going to start with flip-flops or boots.
Flip-flops. San Diego boy.
I know. A couple of them are going to be easy. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Football or baseball?
Football.
Ooh, we're like right here. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Wine or whiskey?
I don't drink.
Okay. Well, you are allowed to give a third answer on that one. Cats or dogs?
Juice.
Cranberry juice. Okay. Dogs?
Yeah.
What was my other one? Ireland or Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm torn on that one because our Ireland trip got canceled. Laptop or desktop? Laptop or desktop?
Laptop all the way.
I'm trying to think of, I'm going to give you a funny one that you're going to have to pick one and you're not probably going to like either. Real Housewives or Sex in the City?
Oh my gosh. Shouldn't you have had to watch one of them to know? I can't.
No, you just have to pick one to make it funny.
Sex in any city.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, that's all the torture I'm gonna put.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. That was awesome.
Thank you everyone for joining us. This has been fun. Please go see my boy Butch over in Vegas at Homies Cafe. And if you need help with your LinkedIn profile, optimizing it so people can find you, I help you get known, get found, and get clients. And we can do it in as little as 4 hours with my new VIP intensive. So I will drop some links about that. And you guys, I go live tonight at 5 o'clock. It's 15 minutes of fame. Get it? I just love the name of my new show.
I love that little catchphrase. It's nice.
Right? 15 minutes of fame where I'm talking just about LinkedIn, news, tips, trends, or business development. So I hope that you'll join me tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I have to remember to say that. So we will see you then.